Hey YouTube, this is Cheese Factory, and I'm going to be doing a deck profile for Goat Control. But just before that, I'm just going to mention a couple things. I played at Locals on December 2nd, so that's 12-2, and I top 16 out of 54 people. And I will be uploading my deck profile and talking about that and all that. And I will also be uploading a trade binder pretty soon of some mostly better stuff. A lot of I have some secrets, some Chinese, and some pretty good stuff, so hopefully you guys will be interested. Anyways, onto the deck profile. A friend asked me if I could upload this, talking about Goat Control, so here I am. Goat Control was April 2005, as I think I said, and it was one of the more skill-based formats because of how slow the game was and how hard it was to get an advantage and how easy it was to lose an advantage if you weren't careful. It's actually really hard to play. I've been playing it a lot with a friend, and it's pretty hard. Anyways, I'll talk about the deck. I'm running 2 Air Knight Parshath because he gives you so much plus, and he has a Pierce so he can get over Scapegoat tokens. And Pierce is amazing. So I'm running 2 because it's amazing, and amazingness is amazing. 1 BLS, obviously, because he wasn't banned yet, and then he was banned, and now he's not. He's so good, and I run a few, mostly lights and darks, so it's cheating. 1 Breaker, because he was limited, and he was so good. He's like an extra MST, and he's really good beat stick. Like, nothing can get over 1900 in any deck in Goat Control. Nothing gets over 1900. It's so good. So, Breaker is amazing. 1 DD Warrior Lady. It's really good, can get over BLS, or you can, like, set it, and if they attack into it, or you can use it if they have Parshath, or it can get over Exarion Universe, who, like, nothing can get over, so it's good to have. Speaking of which, Exarion Universe, I'm only running 1, but it's really good. It can be a piercer at the cost of 400 attack points. It's an 18-19, so it can pierce over Goat tokens. And in Exarion Universe, in defense, nothing in Goat Control can get over, so Exarion's really good, because he's just, like, invincible. This is how Goat Control works. You see this with a lot of, this guy, if he's defending, nothing can get over him. So hey, guess what? I run him. And that's why Goat Control is so slow and hard to do, and it was tough. I run 1 guard, and then I can search it with the 2 spies. He's good. You can also combo with Tsukiyomi by normal summoning, setting guard, flipping guard, all that stuff. It's pretty good. And then the 2 spies, which is because it's like the best floater in the format. And it's pretty good, and it gets you to guard. 2 Magician of Faith, really good. If I could run 3, but so good. You can get back your Delinquent Duo, you can get back Metamorphosis, Lightning Vortex, Pot of Greed, anything. It's so broken. Or you can get back the Noblemans. That's ridiculous. I think that was it too then. I'm running Morphine Jar. Some decks I see do, some decks don't. But Morphine Jar is, I think, good because you can get plus with it pretty easily. And if you're lucky, or if you're careful, your opponent won't necessarily know you have it, and you can get the huge plus by them discarding and you both drawing 5 and evening a lot out. So it's really good sometimes. But it's situational, so I don't know. You might not want to run it. 1 Sangan, because it searches out Serpent and Magician and Tsukiyomi and Spirit Reaper and DD Warrior Lady and everything, because it's so good. It's broken as heck. It's still at 1, and it will always be a 1 or 0 because it's so good. 1 Sinister Serpent, now banned, sadly, but really good. I actually didn't really realize why until I'd played more in Goat format, because during your standby phase, if this card is in your grave, you can return it to your hand. In other words, you can contribute it for Metamorphosis, you contribute it for Lightning Vortex, you contribute it for Graceful Charity, for Enemy Controller, for your opponent's Delinquent Duos, for so much stuff, and it's so good because every time you do that, you're essentially negating the cost, which is ridiculous, because all those cards have costs for a good reason. And then 1 Spirit Reaper, because it's good. I mean, it can give you plus if your opponent doesn't have anything, and what gets over it. The only problem is that if they have Exarion or something, then you can take a lot of damage. But it's really worth it, because you can give you so much plus attacking over stuff. 1 Tribe Infecting Virus, obviously banned now. You can discard one card from your hand to declare one type of monster. Destroy all face-up monsters with the declared type. Really, really good. You can get over any monsters, basically. And if your opponents have, like, Breaker Gravekeepers, you can kill all the spellcasters. Or if they have, like, DD Warrior Lady BLS or 2 Parshoths or... Yeah, this is one of the reasons you have to be so careful having multiple monsters on the field, because Trivirus can just kill a bunch of crap really easily. It's ridiculously good. And then one Tsukiyomi, of course, because it's so good with Gravekeeper Spy, and because it's amazing. It's amazing, that's just kind of all there is. Tsukiyomi is really good. 2 Book of Moon, I'm citing my third, because you could run 3 in this format. It's so good. You can use it to, like, negate stuff, and if your opponent uses Ring of Destruction or Mirror Force, and all this stuff you can book. It's really good. And you can book Nobleman if you're in, like, a huge emergency, stuff like that. 1 Delinquent Duo. It's so broken. It's basically, I get a free +1. It's a reverse Pot of Greed. You discard a card from your opponent's hand randomly, and then they choose one and it's discarded. So they have to discard 2, and it's ridiculous. So good. 1 Econ, because it works with Serpent, and it works with, like, everything. I think you can do it with Goat tokens too. It's really good. So it's amazing. And then you contribute their stuff for Parshoth or whatever. 1 Graceful Charity, draw 3, discard 2. Good card. Sorry, when I said good card, I meant ridiculously broken card. Graceful Charity is so ridiculous, especially with Sinister Serpent. It's like a Pot of Greed, but better, because you get to draw through more and discard stuff, so it's like, I don't know how you say it, but it's ridiculously broken. 1 Heavy Storm, a lot of stuff gets set in this format, and a lot of the time you're setting your own spells and traps that are quick play or whatever, and you can chain them to your Heavy Storm so that you don't suffer the minuses that your opponent does. And also there was no Solemn Judgment, I don't believe, and there was definitely not Starlight Road, so it's basically unnegatable. It's ridiculous. 1 Lightning Vortex, I'm pretty sure it was limited. Ridiculously good. Destroy a card, or discard a card, destroy your opponent's face-up monsters. You can get over Goat tokens if you really have to. If your opponent's ever going for, like, all-in with a bunch of stuff on the field, you can clear it with Vortex. And you can always just discard Serpent for it, so Lightning Vortex is amazing. 2 Metamorphosis, citing a third. You tribute a monster, special summon a fusion monster of the same level. Obviously banned now, because I tribute Sinister Serpent, I tribute a Goat token, I tribute Magician of Faith, whatever level 1, and I get 1000 Dice Restrict. And he can equip any opponent's monster to him, which is so broken, it's ridiculous. It does not make sense. I mean, you can do it on face-down monsters, whatever, and it just totally locks down the field. And the only way they can get over it is, like, with Book of Moon or Tsukiyomi. So it's amazing. And you can get into it so easily with Metamorphosis. I'll go into the rest of my extra deck stuff when I get down there, because those are all fusions for Metamorphosis. 1 MST, because it was limited then. Really, really good. You can chain it to Call, or to Snatch Steal, or Premature Burial, stuff like that. It's really good. And also because it can just pop aggro when you need it to. 2 Noblemans. It was at 2 then, I think. And it's so broken because you set so much stuff. You set your Magicians, Jars, you might set a Sanguine or a Serpent, you might set Reaper, you might set Warrior Lady, Gravekeeper stuff, and it's amazing. It's ridiculous. Banishes it, and it doesn't flip. And anyway, Pot of Greed, 1 for 2, obviously broken, obviously banned. Premature Burial, obviously broken. Well, now, the reason it's banned now is because you can search it with stuff like Hidden Armory, and you can't do that with regular Monster Reborn, so Premature Burial is more broken. But this is still ridiculously good, because you can use it to get Parshoth, BLS, whatever you need. It's really good. 2 Scapegoats, citing the third, because you don't usually need 3 unless your opponent's playing a weird deck that doesn't deal with Scapegoat at all. So, I don't know. But it's pretty darn good. It's actually quite good. They can't be tributed for a tribute summon. Emphasis, can't be tributed for a tribute summon, but they can be tributed for Metamorphosis, so it doesn't really matter. And the can't summon other monsters the turn you activate this card is insignificant, because you can just quick play it on your opponent's turn. So who cares? 1 Snatch Steal, of course, because it's broken as everything. I mean, it's like the best card. It's another reason you have to be so careful in this format, because if you, like, drop BLS early or something, there's a good chance they'll just Snatch Steal it and stuff like that, so you have to be so careful. One Call of the Haunted, you can always like chain it to an MST for Sangan or Search or something, and getting back like Parshoth or something for a plus with the draw is amazing. One Mirror Force because it was limited then. It's so good. It's amazing in this format because it's another reason you have to be so careful. All this kind of stuff says you have to play slow. And it's why it's so skill-based, because you have to know when you can go all in, when you can't, and it's really hard. I'm not very good at it yet. A lot of the time I mess up, because I'm so used to the current format, which is so fast, where the faster you can go, the better. Whereas in this format, it was like, the slower you go, the better you do. Which is so anti what I'm used to, so it's hard. One Ring of Destruction. Really good. You can burn for game. You can like attack with a monster and then ring it for the extra damage. And you can ring your opponent's monsters, like if they drop BLS, you can just ring it. Although they can always just pry the effect, which is annoying, but Ring of Destruction is amazing. You can use it to get over Exarion and stuff. 2 Sakuretsu, which is like the only way to get over an attacking Exarion, but that's okay. Sakuretsu is really good in this format. There was no Deep Prison or anything, and this got over like everything, so it's really good. And 1 Torrential Tribute because it was limited too. And another reason you have to be so careful. It's really good. This GOAT format was like play slow. Everything in here says play slow, so that's just how it is. My side deck is just like random crap. I was like, hey, I'll side these. So, a couple Big Shield Gardena, just random defensey stuff. And you can also Book of Moon him and whatever. Exiled Force, Fusilier Dragon. This guy's you can Metamorphosis with him to get, who is he? Gatling Dragon, because Gatling Dragon's amazing. Or no, he's for BLS. Or is the level 7? Yeah, King Dragoon. You can get him with Fusilier Dragon. And he's pretty darn good and stuff like that, so. Jinzo for trap decks, he was limited then. Mobius for heavy back row. Extra book, Metamorphosis. 1 Rhoda for like Exiled Force or Big Shield Gardena. Scapegoat, my 1 swords you're allowed to have for decks that are faster or more rush, which usually you can deal with, but swords is good. 1 Ceasefire, because you can use it to stop their flip effects, like Magician of Faith and stuff. Triple Decree, so if you have a bunch of back row, you say no. For the, whatever they're called, 2 Balter the Terrible, you contribute Parshoth for this, and when a normal spell card is activated, you can negate it, and when an effect, and he negates the effect of a monster that he destroys by battle. So, like DD Warrior Lady or DD Assailant or whatever it's called, he can negate all those, and he can, I think he can negate Sinister Servant, but I don't know. He can negate Magician of Faith, all that kind of stuff. 1 Darkfire Dragon, which is like if you need to tribute a level 4 for any reason, to get out something bigger, and just because it's cool. Dragoness of the Wicked Knight is for tributing Sangan, like if you really need the Search, or if you want to get rid of Spirit Reaper, whatever. Fiend Skull Dragon, as long as this card remains on the field, and negate flip effects, obviously really good. And negate the effects of trap card that targeted, so he can get over Sakuretsu, as far as I know. Yeah, target the attacking monster. Gatling Dragon for BLS. Sometimes you can BLS, call Prio to banish, and then go into Gatling Dragon and then just destroy a bunch of their crap. So it's pretty good. King Dragoon, as I said, is for Fusilier, which is pretty good. Ojama King, he's level 6. So that's for like Jinzo or Mobius. And he's pretty good just because he's a stall, and because he limits your opponent's zones and they can't use Scapegoat, so he's pretty good. 1 Reaper on the Nightmare, who is really good because he can attack directly and make them discard, and he's like invincible and really annoying. So he's pretty darn good. And then 2 Ryu Senshi for Mobius and Jinzo again. You can negate traps by paying 1,000, and he negates any spell that targets him. So Book of Moon, whatever, he's really good. So that's my GOAT control deck. It's pretty darn good. Sort of. Not. It's not very good actually, but I would like to think it's pretty good. It's okay. Look, I did some research on it before I made the deck, so it's okay. Anyway, I'm like almost out of my 15 minutes. So, this is Cheese Factory, my GOAT control deck, and that'll be all. Cheese Factory signing out.